Talking about an abortion may be one of the most difficult subjects for women to um, admit to. It's definitely not easy for me. And 3, 2, 1. The guilt and shame of having an abortion is probably one of the most difficult things that women have to talk about. I don't know that I would be telling my story if my parents were still alive. I was raped my freshman year of college. And as I have written the book, The Art of Forgiveness, I thought that I was writing this book about somebody else, and it turned out to be about me and forgiving me. Hello, I'm Pamela D. Marshall, the author of the book, The Art of Forgiveness and Expression of Peace, that you can order by going to my website, PamelaDMarshall.com. Forgiving ourselves is so difficult because of our self-condemnation, which is an insidious thought process that the Prince of Darkness wants all of us to begin, to be ashamed of the thing that can cripple the rest of our journey. There's so many girls in college, there's so many children who have been sexually assaulted, and they don't talk about it, and we go through our lives trying to carry on our lives as if nothing has happened. But especially for women who have been raped and have abortions, or who have decided for whatever their reason to have an abortion, it's a really difficult thing to talk about. Many times when I see protests about, I have the right to make a decision about my body, and we do. I just wish that we lived in a society that was more concerned about the rights of the human when these kinds of activities happen. And we look at how we promote promiscuity, we promote sexuality in everything. Why do you need half-naked women to watch a football game? And we're promoting this very act against the vessel. This is the first gift that we were given, this body. And we don't live in a culture or societies across the globe that value this vessel. Do you realize that you were given this vessel before you even got your first inhale? Yet we don't talk and we don't do the things that we need to do to protect it at all cost, and give each other permission to protect it at all cost. More than anything else, we are making it look acceptable to do the things that harm this vessel. And when we are faced with the decision of having an abortion, it is like a double, triple, quadruple whammy on our psyche. And we have all of the feelings, whatever those feelings might be. I can't speak for anyone else. But I was devastated. I made a decision to have an abortion after being raped. And then I prayed and asked God to never allow me to conceive, as my punishment for me having an abortion. He was more of a vicious animal who did what he did and threatened to kill me if I had an abortion, because I told him that I wasn't sexually active, that I didn't want to get pregnant. My first semester in college when this happened. Coming from the country and being on a college campus, just was not mentally equipped for interacting with boys and men. Grew up in a Pentecostal family, wasn't even allowed to date. So as you might imagine, and for any women who are dealing with the guilt and shame of having had an abortion, for whatever the reason might be, when I see the statistic that there are millions of abortions that have happened, I can't do anything but think about all of the hurting women as a result of having to make that decision. But we have to look at, how do I move forward after, whether it's abortion or other things that we do or say, that we have to be prepared to forgive ourselves. This journey of peace and healing through forgiveness cannot work if we don't understand how to forgive ourselves, because what we will do is we will sentence other people to the same punishment that we deem necessary for ourselves. You can't forgive other people at any level if you haven't forgiven yourself. We must do the work with the eyes in the mirror. We must be able to look in the mirror regardless and say, I can forgive me. I can forgive me. And I like taking walks in nature. I like being in the environment and looking at the forgiveness that's all around me. When the sun is shining because the sun is shining because there was a commandment to let there be light. And the sun is not placing any judgment on the desert or the rainforest. It is shining. And when I look at the trees, regardless to what season it is, they're in their various stages. But I see the beauty in all of those stages. And even in the fall, as the leaves may start to change colors and eventually turn brown and drop, there's rejuvenation that takes place every year. And when I think about that, I am like the trees, you are like the trees, and we are constantly evolving, and we can forgive ourselves and start again, and we deserve all of the greatness that the Creator has in store for us. We can punish ourselves much worse than the Creator would ever think of punishing us. And I did just that. So I'm begging you. Today is a new day. This moment is a new moment. And I want you to release any self-doubt, any self-incrimination, any sentences that you have imposed on yourself, so you can enjoy the beauty of a new day, to be able to feel the sun, the breeze, and know that you deserve your place in this world, that you are majestic, and that you are doing the very best to be honest and kind and forgiving. And the trials and the tribulations that we've gone through that bring us to a place of needing to forgive ourselves. It's okay to be in that place, but we don't have to stay there. In this moment, take some quiet time and release all of those negative energy, all of the negative energies that have locked us up. Someone said to me once, they were talking to a homeless man, and he said, I figured out how to get out of jail, but I can't figure out how to get out of this parking. And some of us sentence ourselves without any bars, without any chains, without judge or jury. We sentence ourselves. But today, in this moment, I want you, as I have had to do, to say, I forgive myself. And I am on a constant path of self-development, and I'm always learning, and I am always going to be available to me in my mistakes, to release, and to say, I am forgiven. So would you do that for me? Practice self-care and remind yourself how strong you are. The past is in the location that it's supposed to be. So let's leave it there. The light in me greets the light in you. I'm Pamela D. Marshall, corporate mindfulness coach and the author of The Art of Forgiveness. For all of us at the Wellness Network, enjoy the breath of this moment. Peace does take practice. We'll see you next time.